What's up guys, it's Dwayne from Mountain Buck. Today we're checking out the Spypoint Force 48 trail camera. This camera takes high definition photos at a budget friendly price. It shoots 48 megapixel photos, which should provide for some really nice quality images and 720p video. We're gonna test this thing out thoroughly today, so let's get into it. So here is the Force 48 right out of the packaging, and this is a nice size, nice small trail camera here. Around back here you have the straps here. You want to mount it with the straps for the tree. You also have the holes here for a Python cable if you want to lock this thing down. On the bottom you have these standard size thread mounts here if you want to mount it that way. And you have a plug here if you want to plug in an external battery or a solar panel. Let's open it up. We do have a small size screen on here to adjust your settings along with some basic functionality and the on-off switch. Down bottom here, we have a slot for a standard size SD card. And you can see this camera takes 8 AA batteries, which we'll install right now. All right, batteries are in. This camera also comes with a strap for the tree and a quick start guide. Now let's get these settings where we want them. You could choose between photo, video, time-lapse, or hybrid mode. And hybrid mode is going to give you photo plus video. And I really like that, so I'll keep it on there. Here's your delay between shots. Of course, we'll bump that all the way up to 48 megapixels. Multi-shot here, you can choose between 1 picture or 5. Our video quality, the max here is 720p. Here's where we select the length of our videos. Trigger sensitivity. Recycle if you want to write over your older files to record new photos and videos. Camera ID. And formatting your memory card. All right, our settings are all set. Let's get this thing outside and run some tests. All right, our Force 48 is all set on the tree and we are ready to run some tests. Now the first test I'm gonna do is the image clarity, image quality test. Now this camera has a 48 megapixel camera, which should provide some really nice, crisp, clear images. The way I do this test is I hold up an eye chart, very similar to the one you use in your optometrist office to check your vision. I stand 15 feet in front of the camera and see how clear these images are. Next up is our trigger speed test. The Force 48 has a 0.5 second trigger. So what I do for this one is I have a cone set up 10 yards behind me there. I run right by and see how fast this camera is going to pick me up. Next up is our detection range, and this camera has an 80-foot detection range and an 80-foot flash range. Now how I do this test is I have 4 cones set up back there behind me at varying distances. First one's at 10 yards, then 20, 25, and 30 yards out. I'm going to walk by each one at a nice leisurely pace and see how far out this camera can capture me. All right, that's it for our tests out here. Let's check that footage and see how the Force 48 performed. Our image clarity test shows off that 48 megapixel camera. Look at this here when I zoom in. You can see all the way down to that bottom line, line 11. Really nice clear image from this camera. Here's the video from that image clarity test, and this camera is only shooting 720p video. You can make out to about line 7 there and it starts getting blurry. The trigger speed caught me a bit after mid-frame. Pretty accurate trigger speed here with that 0.5 second trigger. For detection range, this camera caught me out to 25 yards. And I'm happy with that detection range as this camera is listed at 80 feet, so we are right on target. Here's an example of the daytime image quality. Really nice image of this doe here. Great detail, and I'll zoom in here a bit so you can see even more detail. Here's another example of the daytime image quality. Here's the nighttime image quality. You have some raccoons hanging out there and the area is lit well. Here's the daytime video quality. Pretty decent quality for a 720p video of a doe at close range. Here's another example of a turkey with her poults. This camera does not record audio with the video, so that's something to keep in mind. Here's the nighttime video quality, and the video here is lit well and you make out those raccoons pretty easily. Here's the nighttime IR this camera puts off. Over the course of my test period, this camera took 67 photos and 67 20-second videos. The battery is still full with 4 bars. So there it is, the Spypoint Force 48. This is a really great value, budget-friendly camera that shoots really nice quality, high-resolution photos with that 48 megapixel camera. As always, the links to the items we talk about are in the description below. Guys, get yourself some Killer Mountain buck gear. Do me a favor, hook me up and hit subscribe. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.